Hi everyone, welcome to Stogie Geeks News for September 4th, 2015. I'm your host, Paul Asadorian, joined on the lines via Skype by Mr. Will Cooper.
Greetings, Paul.
What's going on, Will? What are we talking about this week for Stogie News?
Well, let's kick it off with our friend Steve Saka from Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust, which is now his new company. And at the IPCPR trade show, he showed off his Sobremesa cigar. And the interesting thing about Steve's probably going to go down in history is probably having the most successful trade show without giving out one cigar.
That's amazing.
Because the only person I know who smoked that cigar was Nick Melillo, who was on our show.
Did he have the cigars on display?
He had them on display,
Okay.
and they look really, really nice. Very classic look he's got to them. And it
Now,
seems like,
did he release the sizes?
yeah, he's actually, and that's actually a little bit of what's happening with the news as far as that goes. In that there are several sizes he's coming out with, but actually one of the sizes he ended up scrapping because he wasn't happy with it, and that size was the Bellicoso Largo, which is a 6x52 that he's ended up actually swapping out for a 6x54 Torpedo. And he just said basically he really wasn't happy with how it was, and I guess it had to do a lot with the leaf placement in those cigars is why he made a change on that. You know, and we've talked a lot about leaf placement on the show here.
No, that's really cool. I can't wait to smoke, Steve cigars, of course.
Yep. He's got 5 other sizes, and then there's supposedly 2 additional ones coming out later, so it's going to be a total of 8 sizes. Now, Steve, having the successful trade show he did, according to what he's posted on his social media this week, he said he took about 5 times the amount of orders he anticipated. So what he is doing is he is fulfilling anyone who placed an order, but basically everyone's going to get a lot less this first time around. And the target date he's put out there is November 1st, but I think he's reserving the right if he's not happy with that, and I could see him being like that. He'll basically, it could end up being longer, but I think November 1st is the date folks should be targeting right now.
Yeah, I saw that on social media as well, and it's a very much anticipated release from the IPCPR trade show, so I'm looking forward to November. I hope he can meet the date and we get to smoke the cigars.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
What else you got, Will?
Well, things are kind of, House of Emilio has kind of been undergoing a lot of changes. And this week, another company, Guayacan Cigars, was the latest to depart House of Emilio. And House of Emilio is actually Emilio Cigars' distribution arm. A year ago, they had 9 companies under that umbrella. Now they are down to 4 companies. And I actually talked to Noel Rojas, who is the founder of Guayacan Cigars. I actually talked to him about a month ago, so I knew this was happening. And I think it was not, in this case, he was just looking to really control his own distribution. But, the fact that you have a company that was distributing 9 cigar brands down to 4, I can't help but say something's going on there, and I just don't know what it is yet.
I find it interesting, Will, because when Cristiano Rawa came on the show, it sounded like he was doing the similar kind of thing, like taking in some of these smaller brands and help them distribute. And House of Emilio seemed like the same structure, and they've both kind of weaned down the number of brands that they're supporting. So I don't want to say the model doesn't work. Probably the model doesn't scale. I think we've seen that you can take on a few brands like that and have that kind of culture and have that model. But I think when you start getting, above 4 brands, that becomes really difficult.
Yeah, you actually made a good point. And actually, I remember that conversation with Christian. He also said it was very difficult on the sales force to actually have all these different brands.
Yeah.
So now you're looking at 4 brands, which are Ezra Zion, Nomad, 1502, and of course the Emilio brand. So maybe that's a little bit of their thinking in that. That could be an interesting thing to watch. It does seem like though they've scaled back for some reason, and this is purely speculation, but it's something worth keeping an eye on.
Absolutely. What else, Will?
This week, actually maybe last week, we'll say, Avo Cigars released a really cool 4-pack, and it contains 4 Robusto cigars, and it's called the Avo Quartet. And they actually released one of these a couple of years ago. This year, they've brought it back, and they've put 4 cigars in. It contains the Avo Domain, the Avo Classic, it contains the new Avo Cigars Nicaragua, and then it contains a fourth cigar called the Mystery Note 326, which is an unreleased cigar that they're basically soliciting feedback for. Now, you've actually got the pack, and you've actually
I
smoked
have.
through some of this.
I have the pack. Mine only has 3 because I smoked the mystery cigar. And I have to say, I thought it was really good. It had those classic Avo flavors, but it also kind of had this mixture that I haven't found it elsewhere in the Avo line. It's kind of like an earthiness, a sweetness, these different kind of notes coupled with that traditional kind of Avo herbal flavors that made for a great combination. Well, I really liked it. I mean, I would call it a box split, and probably with some age, I can see it creeping into box worthy. So I really liked the mystery cigar, and I plan to give them feedback, and I hope they come to production with it because I thought it was a great offering from Avo.
Yeah, and apparently you can go to this website that's a URL mystery.avo.com. There's some code that's in the box, right? And then you just put in your feedback as far as that goes.
Excellent. And this 4-pack retails next door at the Havana Cigar Club for $29.95. Of course, if you're a member, you get a discount off of that as well. It's very cool packaging, very bright colored packaging, and great Avo cigars in it. So I think it's a pretty good value.
Yeah, and it's got the whole new rebranding of it as well. So you kind of get a chance to sample some of them. Maybe a couple of old favorites, but you also get that new Avo Cigars Nicaragua in there.
Yeah, if listeners try that mystery cigar, please let us know what you think. Email the show at stogiegeeks.com. I'm curious to see what our listeners think of that cigar as well.
Absolutely.
What else, Will? Is that it?
That's it this week.
Excellent, excellent. I want to remind everyone that you can go to stogiegeeks.com and subscribe to all of our shows, including this show, Stogie Geeks News, Stogie Geeks Shorts, and the main Stogie Geek show where we do interviews, Debonair Ideal, and we talk about our Stogies for the week. All of that is available on our website, stogiegeeks.com. Of course, you can get daily news and cigar reviews at cigar-coop.com as well, which is what Will maintains and spends a lot of his time doing, reviewing cigars, and we're thankful for that. It's really awesome. Both sites have recently been updated, so make sure you go check them out, as well as our live stream page, stogiegeeks.com/live, which you can check out every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks so much, Will.
Thank you, Paul.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time on Stogie Geeks News.